Sometimes it takes a while to hook up.
520-741-8. These are numbers we can't debate. For God wants all of us to have abundance. Anything less would be redundant. 520-741-8. These are numbers that can't debate. 'Cause Trump wants all of us to have abundance. Anything less would be redundant. 520-741-8. Doc.
Whew. Okay. Hey, everybody. Welcome. This is Chance's Chat. Of course, I'm Doc G with Chance McFadden, the singing conspiracy theorist, Chance McFadden. Welcome. And we have Debbie Stevens today. And, of course, fascinating Brian. Welcome to Chance's Chat.
Guys, this is it. This is good stuff that's happening. In spite of the bad, in spite of the terrible, in spite of the horrific, there is a ray of sunshine. And also right now there's a geomagnetic storm going on, and you could see the aurora borealis all the way from Iowa down to Texas is what I've heard from a report at 7:15 this afternoon from Brother John. So go outside if you want to see the aurora borealis. This geomagnetic storm is a once in 300-year event, something like that. And Brian probably knows more about it than I do, but we're so glad to have Debbie with us tonight. Debbie Stevens, our APL Go lady, and she is the woman with all the news, and she's got news about the Republic. So, Debbie, give it to us.
Well, the Republic is going hot and heavy, and I'll tell you what's happening. We need more representatives in Iowa. We now have a governor. You wouldn't believe who it is. So we need 2 senators, Department of Justice, Secretary of State, and Treasurer, Clerk of Court. Go on down through it. That's what we need. Everything's going to be changing. So anybody from Iowa, give me a call. You got to do a few things to sign up. You have to read this one book. You then make a bio. I send it in to Sandy Marecki, Colonel Sandy Marecki. She's retired from the Air Force. And everyone else needs to take and join up too in all the other states. That's what needs to happen. And I think since they went and did North Carolina, we're coming to the end because they were able to take and catch. They've been looking for this one guy for 30 years, and they found him. They captured him. He was a heavy child trafficking person. So they found him, they captured him. And along with
didn't he have plastic surgery like 19 times? I
think they said like 18 times or whatever. Yeah, and I can't think of his name, what he went by. It's a crazy name. But anyway, so they got him, and then the reason why in all the tunnels and everything, all the bodies that are basically coming up from the tunnels, lots of things that are happening. And especially the person that said that they flew over that was trying to take out all the area that they had for helping, and they were trying to do it. That was the white hats trying to show that Kamala was being stupid. And so they came in, they swooped in and tried to act as if that was them, but it wasn't. It was the white hats doing it. So high horse. Yep, that's who it was. Anyway, so they got them, and then they went to Florida. So they went down there, and hopefully they took out Disneyland. I'm hoping. I'm just hoping. So
it's supposed to be open tomorrow. It's supposed to be open tomorrow, but we know that all the dome that was underneath it, and we know that the tunnels are all done.
They need to be done. So when they, yep. So they said after that, that's almost all wrapped up. So we're getting ready to make our move. So that should be, coming up. So I've got some news about APL Go too. And you don't know about this, Chance. They're coming out with the Lodgen. I can't say it tonight. Anyway. Yes, thank you. I've worked 12 hours today, so I'm kind of like tired, running on empty. It's a new DNA lozenge. They finally came out with it. And then they have this pendant that they've also come out with, and it is made with, on the inside of it, it is made with Japanese ash. And so there's a lot of things that are into this. So you need to get on and read about this. This is a really, really powerful little emblem that they've done. Let's see, I think that might be all of my news that I have. But I do want everybody to sign up. If you're not in Iowa, everybody needs to sign up and become a member of the Republic. It's not that hard. You can sign up, be a volunteer or whatever. If you want to help, if you want to get us to where we need to be, we've got to get there. So that's basically it tonight. And I've got it over there, member Republic for the United States of America.org. Everybody needs to sign up. I'm a placeholder as a governor. So I'm here. If nobody, we're going to have an election. If no one takes it, well, guess who gets it for 2 years? There's a lot of things I'd like to change. I know you probably got a lot too, Chance. So we have a chance to do it. You're on mute.
He's muted, yeah.
You're muted.
I said I'm in. I'll take the state senator position and send me the stuff. I'll read the book, and it'll.
Okay.
I'm in.
You got to get vetted, and you can do that. You can listen to the audio. It's really easy. You should know it. Everything's going to be like common law and what they did. Abraham Lincoln. What they did in prison. Tim Turner for 18 years for no reason.
Right.
So, yep. Anyway, that's all I've got. Go for it, boys.
I will tell you, the machine has been responsible for putting out a bunch of lies about Tim Turner, okay? And John, if you're listening right now, we know you heard this and we know you heard that and everything like that, but that's all part of the machine trying to keep him trying to cut the nuts off of the Republic. That's what they're doing. They figure they take Tim Turner out. But listen, tonight is I want to get some info from Brian, fascinating Brian, and then Doc G, and then we're going to open up the phone lines for questions. We'll have 2 phone lines that you can call tonight. One of them is the station, and the other one will be my cell phone. And we will also take questions on the board over here. Okay.
Chance, that phone line has been eliminated.
It has been?
Yeah, because nobody was using it, and I definitely need the extra money. So I said, yeah, we just had to cancel it.
Okay.
I mean, we can get it back again sometime, but right now we just don't need extra.
Yeah, that's fine. We don't need it anyway.
$25 more that we got to spend.
Yeah, they can call my phone. Okay. So if you're going to call in one at a time, not everybody at once. Okay. on another link. I don't know. What other link is there?
That sounds hazardous, Chance. Just to let you. I said that sounds hazardous. To welcome. Come on down. Call all of you. Shortening your phone.
I just want to try to help people with as much as I can because, they've been helping me. I got to help them. We're gonna just take your time, one at a time. Give us a call. Will already tried calling for a question. So Will, I know you're listening. So go ahead and call back, and just wait your turn. Kind of just try to space yourselves out for 5 or 10 minutes apart or something like that. 319-561-0064. Oh. Are you watching the show? Yeah, I'm on the show. I'm taking calls live tonight. Okay, bye-bye. Yeah, he had a question. He said, "Are you on the show?" I said, "Yes." Okay, I'll call you later. Okay.
See?
I'll tell you what.
Brian's right, right?
I'm trying to keep everybody's spirits raised because we've gone through a lot of tragedy. Okay.
Sure.
319-561-0064.
Let me put it up there so you can.
And I'm shutting that number off at 9:00. Okay, so I won't be able to talk to you after that. Okay. All right. Now, Brian, I know you've been listening to everything. What say you?
None of it matters, only because it's just tons of optics. Okay? Optics is you always have to read in between the lines because it is a stage. And if from an objective standpoint you are in the military, you're going to do subtle things that are loose in their ethics. I'm sorry. It's a war game, right? So if the white hats need, and again, I always talk about there are light workers and there are dark workers, right? They both have merit. They both are important for one's journey. So if the white hats have to embody an idea temporarily, right? Be the black hats out of optics, like something is said on the mainstream media or something is revealed and it coincides with whatever's happening here or there. That is optics. It's for the story, right? So the script has to keep moving forward. It has to give you time to digest and feel and make a decision. So what's the decision? The decision ultimately is I don't consent. That is the decision. It is the words of power. So the more you use those feelings with the words of power, it shapes reality. They know it. All military personnel, all agents that understand frequency, they know that consciousness, the words, the feelings, depending on who you are, extremely, extremely powerful. And they shape the reality. Even though the rules still exist where the collective frequency can dominate the matrix. But at the same time, it is the dominant frequency in reality that will dominate the matrix. It's more invasive because it is a powerhouse that represents a greater caliber being. Whether they are human or not human, it will make more of itself because it understands that the energy in its own physical vessel is limitless. It understands the then the individual understands he or she is the greatest illusion and the mastermind behind the story. And a lot of you think like, well, that sounds pretty crazy, but it's true because you watch them all the time. They're called movies, right? You're in a movie too. You have a beginning, you have a middle, and you have an end. You're the protagonist. You have many, if not, or very few, the rock and a hard place, right? You can have your ups and downs. You can have your clinch where you draw from something or a miraculous moment where people go, whoa, what? That's just unreal or surreal. How did that happen? Everyone has a story. Everyone has their own journey to honor and part to play because you are a singularity in that story. You picked it. It's from outside looking in because you're the script writer. So I wanted to touch on something important, and many of you will probably disagree or find it's irrational to let certain ideas go. So I'm going to tell you that there is one truth that I learned here, observing the humans as my higher self, embodying the we is a crutch to a starseed. Now, why do I say that? Because a starseed has difficulty blending in, or any high caliber being has difficulties blending in. That means friends and blood ties are a crutch. So how do you move forward knowing that you have things attached to you, ideas attached to you, and they're always trying to take your identity? You have to let them go. You have to move forward. And here's where it gets difficult. And the difficulty that a lot of starseeds or high caliber humans have is loneliness. Because the desire to be relatable is just a part of being more people. It's very difficult because in this board game, it's like 1 million starseeds out of 20 million humans. It's not very many. And I'm just talking about like on one continent, going with numbers. So out of the whole entire planet, you're looking at maybe between 1 to 3, maybe even 5% if you're lucky of the whole population, starseeds, all spread out, all alone with very few of them connecting and getting together. And why is that done? Because it's purposefully. It is from a higher contract. You have to, in order to find those contracts, you need tools. You got to find you. And I'm not talking about the human you. I'm talking about whatever greater version of you that you depict in your imagery, or if your memories come back to you that can tell a greater story, like mine did. So I know. So from a higher vantage point, you will just see it as all valid, but at the same time, you have to train to navigate a very dense board game. It's all about gaining skill sets. It's all about more knowledge. That is the one thing that I always endlessly hunger. And I don't mean it in like a very, not necessarily benevolent way, even though half of it is benevolent, but also half of it also reflects the other side. that a lot of people don't understand. So from an insatiable desire as a starseed wanderer, I'm very, and I will use it, lustful. It's not greed. My lust for all the ideas is insatiable. The lust for life. It doesn't have to be just about, sexual ideas. It's about all the ideas in all its energy, in all its calibers. I am very greedy as a being in the higher realms because I want it all. I want to experience it all. I want to understand it all. And it's all from energy levels. I want to manipulate it. I want to control it. I want to manifest it. I want to create my versions of it. And of course, people will be like, well, then that's like saying you're a god. And I would just look at you and say, well, then what are you? Right? I'll agree to it. But if you agree you're something of a limited point of view, then I'll say, hey, you're valid in how you feel. If you want to be small, you think small, be small. That's okay. So to all the starseeds and the higher caliber beings, you're going to need to cut and trim the fat. Not everybody makes it. There is no we in anything except for temporary agreements, temporary measures. If children or parents are debilitating your journey, they're draining your journey, family members, they are a crutch. If you're trying to honor because whether grandma and grandpa said you have to look after your sibling or you have to look after your son, I don't care if they are abusers of chemicals, alcohol, any of it. You have to do this for me. You have to take care of your people. So how does that leaves you no freedom to do you? That is a cage. It will destroy the spirit body over time. You're thinking, what? The spirit body gets destroyed? Absolutely. The spirit body is a part of the physical body. When the spirit body is too weak and too drained, what happens to the physical body? The physical body deteriorates. Is there a percentage to when the body will deteriorate to where you cannot recover? Yes. So what happens to the spirit body? It leaves. Does that mean that someone else will walk in? They have to be as high as a caliber being like me to go in a body like that, to repair it from the etheric side. They have to understand energy. Most beings, starseeds or walk-ins of any nature, they will see the energy. It's very dim from the physical side. Sorry, you got to cut ties. It's a loss. So it's not that you aren't allowed to be empathetic. It isn't that you can't be relatable, but you have to be relatable to who reflects you in the mirror. It's so few depending on who you are and how you represent yourself. Think of me, for an example, in how I speak, how I always engage everybody. I never come on to complain about anything. I am always aware and insightful and giving lots of opportunities to expand and grow in the information. I am very much aware that I am all alone here on this planet from the physical point of view. I won't find anybody. I've learned and came to the conclusion I won't find anybody like me on this planet. And I'm okay with that because I'm a guest. So that's something for you, the humans, to consider.
That's pretty deep, brother. You know what? You know what I heard in there? I heard in that dissertation, you got to know when to hold them. You got to know when to fold them. You got to know when to walk away. You got to know when to run. And that's why I keep telling people on the site, quit asking about rate and date, because you don't count your money while you're sitting at the table. Time enough for counting when the deal is done. Okay. Brian, that's pretty deep stuff, brother. You almost went over my head. But I was following you.
And that's just how it is. Like,
Yeah.
and that's why I always say it's important that to understand from my point of view, when you are at a caliber in the same perception of me, you're coming to a school for very, very different reasons. That's why when I say from a transparency or understanding of how when I speak, I have to be transparent. That means I can't lie. I have to be truthful. I can't not be anything but me. But at the same time, that's why I said I'm not really here. I don't have a mission. My mission is to get 3 to 4 with the frequencies, meaning, again, it has to do with the threshold, and we are in the threshold. And if I have to give it from a physical aspect, like a number sequence, it would be 3.999999999 till you're waiting for that one tick, right? The one tick where it says, welcome to 4D. So it's like I have the door open. My foot is on its way through in that now moment, but like everybody else, I'm waiting for that now moment. That's what I'm waiting on. So as a guest, I'm just leisurely contracting by choice. Yeah, sure. I'll throw a few words out there. If there are any takers, great. If there are no takers, your loss, not my loss. And I move forward because we all have a story. And some of us have more complex stories, like myself, and it involves transitioning. It involves enhancing ideas that aren't so far-fetched, but very real, whether it's from a sci-fi perspective or from a fantasy perspective or a supernatural perspective. It's still real. It's clever when you think about the creators of all things and the stories and concepts. That's why I say creation is limitless. Mine is only beginning, mind you, especially once everything becomes prevalent in physicality. My clock starts. That's when the new beginning for me starts. Once Nasera Gesera is fully in face value, my clock in what I need to do within 500,000 years, whatever that looks like, 997 years, it starts once that's activated, because I've already set into stone and in motion new ideas. Yes, rest, recalibrate, vacation, have fun, play, and then do the damn hard work so I could get to the next threshold myself. It's fun. It's clever if you understand you, but you have to understand you. And I don't mean the human you. It's whatever you envision that is a greater version of you. Pretty powerful. Yes, Chance? Sorry. What?
I said, thank you, Brian.
You're welcome.
Oh, gosh. I'm trying to keep things light tonight. Yeah, stir in a pot. I get it. All right. Listen, I'm trying to keep things light tonight because we had awful lot of negatively last week, so we're just going to try to put out some positivity. And in the spirit of positivity, I'm going to play this new song by Doc G. And here it is. I'm going to play it for you right now. Here it goes.
If it plays. Hold it closer to the mic.
Sounds like a Peter Cetera song to me.
And it fades out.
That was really good.
Yeah, the voice sounds like this 80s rock band. I cannot remember the song, but the voice is like almost identical to it of like one of these artists. I cannot. I wish.
It sounds like Peter Cetera to me from Chicago. Remember?
It's a little bit.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking.
It's a little bit of that in it, but it was actually supposed to be like Barry Manilow. I write the songs.
Ah.
Oh, that's it. Yep. I can see it now.
Got that same theme, but it starts out in a different way. but
So
it tells the story of everything that we're trying to do.
Right.
We're all trying to come together and make things happen, and tell the truth and let people see that and understand it and love that, and that's what we're trying to do. Oh, somebody said Journey. I wish.
So who's singing it?
Me.
You?
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
I know.
That was you singing?
Yeah, that's me singing. Yeah.
Shit. Oh.
Well, I just want to introduce you to two people that we just did a show last night. My good friend, the mayor of rock and roll, is here. Sal Sergia over here. He's the mayor of
Yeah,
rock
I
and roll.
saw him. I saw it. Hi, Sal. How are you doing? I'm the Ayatollah of rock and roll, by the way. I just want you to know I'm the Ayatollah of rock and roll. I just met the mayor.
See, I love this guy. He's been a rock star his whole life. He played with Kiss. He played with so many different people. I mean, you just have him on, and you can see all the people that he's played with, been in movies, wrote songs, and been in the music business for like ever, And it's the people like that that really make me feel good to be friends with, because they're good, nice people. He lives in New York, and great, and he's a good friend. I've been friends with him for a long time, just like you, Chance.
He needs to get out of New York.
Well, he's got a lot of family there. It's hard to.
Yeah, New York and California.
Yeah, I know.
Wow, I'm really impressed. If that was you singing, Doc, that's really fantastic.
So
have you done all the songs, or is there somebody else?
I did every song I sent to Chance, every song I got out, I've redid and did them. Yeah, I wrote them, I created them, and made them. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Cool. Great.
It's a new career for me. I mean, I'm 63.
Go for it.
It's about time, right?
Yeah. Now let's
Let's
get some green stamps behind that, okay? That's
yeah,
what Sal
see.
just said that. Sal just set the dollar sign. I could just see. So that's going to get
New
some
York,
green
it
stamps.
sounds so nice. I got to sing it twice.
He's a good songwriter. I mean, he's funny. He's friendly. He's a great guy. I mean, we're working on great stuff. And Fran Serrano, she's another great person that's in the movie business. If you need anything for backing music or music in the backgrounds of song movies and TV shows, streaming things, she's the girl that connects everybody together. So.
All right, cool.
No, I don't do weddings. I don't even travel. I got so many hats right now. I can't even consider another hat.
But if there's a bartender gig at $50 an hour, he's in. Okay. Okay.
Oh my God.
It's just amazing. I know. I love it. You know what?
That wouldn't be a bad idea. Hey, Doc.
The singing bartender. Well, here's the thing.
Hey,
here's the
there
thing.
you go.
Listen.
Singing
We're
mechanic.
still thinking 4 years ago. Okay, people aren't having weddings no more. They're getting married. There's no more big weddings. It's only the multi-billionaires are having the big weddings, because all the reception halls around here used to be booked. Heck, it's like throwing a hot dog down a hallway.
That's so true.
You can't get a reception hall filled. You can't do anything. I was talking to the guys. Well, we ought to go out and put a band together and go out and play some gigs. I said, I don't want to. It's just not worth. I mean, the wear and tear on my body just moving the equipment. Now, if everything was set up there and all I had to do is bring my guitar in and plug in and go, then I'm in. Okay.
Well, there you go. Think about that. That's why you got young kids.
I'm not cheap. I'll just tell you that right now.
Well, listen, that's the other problem with this, right? Because a lot of the venues don't want to pay musicians what they're worth. You Chance, this.
Oh,
They
yeah.
want you to bring people to them, and they don't want to pay you anything. Oh, you just bring the people to us, and and you can.
We'll give you a little bit of the bar. We'll give you a part of the bar or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bullshit. Yeah, I get it. Man, it's crazy. My son is an officiant. Oh, I am too, by the way. So true. Just get married in the back of the house, backyards. Yep. I get it. Oh yeah, I've done several weddings this year, and the reason they call me is because I'm free. And if I got to drive, they got to pay for my gas. And I've heard them, oh, I got to give you $20 for gas. I said, come on, to get me in this suit, that's worth $20 alone, you know. But you don't wear nothing but Superman shirts and blue jeans, you know.
Hey, just work for the dinner, you know. Just work for the dinner.
I'm here for the food, you know. And it better be good.
Oh my
You better not
God.
be at Hy-Vee either. That's all I got to say. I'm telling you, it's phenomenal, guys. There's a whole bunch of things that we got to cover tonight. First thing I want to talk to you about is if you don't have your RV protocol papers, you need to get them, okay? Because do you really want to show up at your appointment not being prepared, not knowing the right things to say, not knowing how to dress, knowing how to organize your currency? Okay, the RV protocol papers are $50. It's 319-561-0064, same phone number we gave you earlier. It's for Cash App or Zelle. If you are overseas, I can send you a wise.com request for funds. We send all the RV protocol papers by email. So I have to have your email address. Okay. What is going on now is something I really need to talk to you guys about. Okay. Because Mark down in Missouri, okay, this is for you. This is for Doc MH out in Ohio. This is for Drew in prison in Colorado. This is for all my friends that are having trouble with the IRS and legal trouble. Okay. We are in the largest transitional period that has ever existed in this country. Every other transition that's gone through has been gradual, and most of the people didn't know it. Now it's in your face. Okay? This transition is in your face. I'm going to tell you right now, there's been 2 attorneys in the town, in the area, I should say, the area that I live in, that have packed up and left. And there's another attorney he just decided to cash it in, and he retired. And my guess is they're all going to take off and go someplace, okay, if they haven't already. But you know, you can run, but you can't hide. They know how to find you. Old habits die hard, and a lot of you are going to be spending the rest of your life in a very not fun place, unless you're hanging from a rope. Okay. All bar attorneys have been guilty of human trafficking. I don't mean kidnapping children and selling them for, you know, the A drug. I'm talking about they're human trafficking you into their courtrooms. They're forcing you into their courtrooms under threat of imprisonment. Okay. We do not need this election to happen. I pray to God that this election does not happen, and the Supreme Court does what they're supposed to do, and we're supposed to get this thing done. I think there was a video posted on our Telegram page today. I want to talk about that a little bit, guys. I don't know if Debbie, I don't know if you or Brian saw it, or have you seen it, Gene? Joe Biden was giving a press conference, and he was at the podium, and there was like 2 or 3 reporters there. He can really command a crowd, I'm telling you. And they were talking to him about the problems, and he says, in North Carolina, and he says, well, I think President Trump needs to. He says, I think the former President Trump needs to do something about it. And then turned around and walked off, made a couple snide comments as he left. But he in my opinion, that's him resigning.
Optics. Because he never was
So,
alive
yeah.
anyways.
Part of the movie.
Part of the movie.
Part of the movie. But I found it interesting that they would actually put that in there. It's just kind of like when I watched Beetlejuice the other night. I was surprised they put a couple things in there because a couple of things they put in there was kind of gross, and I didn't really kind of agree with it, but it's all right. It is what it is.
If you could get the script writers to go on your side, whether you threaten them, do you want to live a bit longer? You need to be our script writer because you're really good. And they'll be like, I'm good. I switch from team dark to team light. I'm all for you now. So that's
yeah. Well, there's a lot of that. Actually, Brian, it's funny that you say that because this is the opportunity that a lot of the younger bar attorneys are getting. They have got to resign from their Masonic oath, and they've got to resign from their bar oath and take an oath to the New Republic. Debbie, you know about this.
And if they don't, they're all going to be sent over to England.
Yes, that is correct.
Yes.
That is correct.
They're going to be given a chance. And if they don't do it, bye-bye.
England's got some nice future gallows and all sorts of toys.
England swings like a pendulum do. Bobby's on bicycles 2x2. Don't forget the attorneys hanging from a rope.
That's actually kind of terrifying. The swinging pendulum. That's one way to go. Knowing that time is at its slowest when you're drifting back and forth and you're trying to no. So yeah.
Yeah, I was talking about transitions, transitional period. I've been working on a lady in Colorado. I've been working on her case, trying to get her identity theft, and she never even had an Amazon card. And they stole her identity. They, set up an Amazon account in her name. Now it's ruined her credit, and she's a very nice lady. She's just a little bit older than me. Very nice lady. Very, very sophisticated and very, very proper. Says she's always worried about, saying the proper thing and doing the proper thing. She's a very good lady. And I told her, I said, I'm working on this and I'm trying to communicate with these credit agencies. 2 of them I can't even get to respond to me. And the other one, I cannot even, I just got a response from them just this week. And so this is under investigation. Equifax finally said this is under investigation, but we still got 2 more we got to get that cleared off of. Okay, so that's part of a transition. Let's talk about another transition. My friend Maria number 1. She's a wonderful lady, and she's very hardworking. Okay, very hardworking. She works at a full-time job, and she takes care of her brother, and she takes care of her mother. And she went out to pay bills, with the Social Security debit card, and they shut it down. And so she went down to Social Security to find out. Well, they canceled the card because your mom's dead. No, your mom's not dead. Her mom's still fine. So I told her, take a picture of mom with holding today's newspaper. I don't know if she did or not. I hope she did. And anyway, they went down and she stood in line and went through absolute hell to try to get through the Social Security office. And she finally got it. And they said, well, we'll have this all squared away by the 21st. Oh, well, that's real nice. That's only 11 days away or 12 days away from yesterday. And geez, Mary, I mean, this transitional period is going to be very, very rough for everybody. Okay.
Yeah. Well, what I was going to say is because they're saying that because now they're going to have to mess with someone else's account. It's a slush. they're slushing because there is no more money.
That's right.
They have to pull from someone else.
You are right.
It's going to be a very vicious cycle. It's literally inevitable. It's inevitable.
Just like the podcaster Tyler that I started telling you about.
But there is good news. The good news is a lot of those problems will be rectified if you adhere, and I do mean adhere to a more sentient or higher caliber system, because it'll sort through all that information near instantaneous like that, and it will make auto corrections to all these agencies. You could think of it almost like a Skynet, but for the humans on the benevolent side.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That was what I was telling some people on the other day. They keep asking me, well, after my Wise account goes, they're counting their money while they're sitting at the table. That's what they're doing. But they say, after the Wise account goes, how am I going to get? I want to get $120,000 out at one time. Okay, that's not a problem. It might be a problem today, but because it hasn't revalued and they don't have that kind of speed. But you got to remember, it'll be tied into the quantum financial system. So you just go in and bam. It'll take you longer to click the mouse than it will be to transfer any amount of money you want to into any other financial institution. Okay? And just remember, if after the RV, if it says bank, it is not a bank. It's going to have to be a wealth management center or a credit union. And but both of them will have to be ISO 2024 compliant. Okay, Basel
222
compliant, right? And it's Basel 3 compliant. Okay, so if they're not Basel 3 compliant, then you stand a real good. And so anyway, my buddy Tyler out in California, the podcaster, his entire account's gone. Now I would guess, just from what he said, there was probably $250,000 in there. The guy is very successful at what he does, and he has other accounts in that bank. So you better bet your butt he better give me. I hope he listens to me. I listen to him, so he should listen to me. Get your money out of the bank and have them make them accountable. They said there was fraud being perpetrated on the account. Well, if he doesn't have a credit card associated with that account, then there can be no fraud. Okay, but if he does have a credit card, then ask for a printout and show you, for them to show you where the fraud is. Because even though he's an ex-firefighter and he's a very smart, savvy businessman, he doesn't really understand what is getting ready to happen on the other side. He knows about the dinar, but he doesn't know what's going to happen on the other side of the RV. Okay? So, Tyler, if you're listening to me, get your money out of the bank. Be there when they do the investigation and get your funds out of that bank. And you are absolutely right. You got to spread it around, but having 4 accounts in Bank of America, and they've already done this. They've already done this 6 different times just in the last month to two different branches that I know of. Could have been 3 for all I know.
But that's okay. It's shared commonality for the individual's journey. They need hardships. I think it's perfect. So if you give the information, that's why I love saying a lot of what you're going to say is always going to fall on deaf ears. A lot of what I'm going to say is always going to fall on deaf ears.
Oh, I know it.
It is purposefully that way because people need to grow only through hardships. They don't need to grow with lovey-dovey and light, because for one reason is it's very slow. It doesn't stagnate. It's just like comfortable. It's the discomfort people need, so it jogs them into action. Discomfort is more powerful than being comfortable, because that's when you start to get crap or get your SHIT into gear. So kudos to everyone who is honoring their hardships and moving forward. But yeah.
Plus it'll make when we get on the other side of this thing, it's going to make everything so much sweeter.
Yeah.
Oh, Roy. Okay, we can go ahead and start the show now, folks. Roy finally showed up. Thank God, we've been waiting for you, Roy. Okay. Hey, welcome to Chance's Chat. We can start now because Roy's here.
Lord.
So someone had a question real quick. They said, "Is there a heaven, Father One, heaven, or like?"
Oh yeah, I got it right there. Here you go.
You are all magnificent creators. You bet your butt. If you can manifest a hell on earth or a variant of that, your consciousness will go to that realm as a part of your payment. Sounds wonderful, right? There are a lot of beings and entities from both sides of light and dark that will embody those ideas. They'll embody a heavenly Father, but again, if you're not paying attention or carefully analyzing what this heavenly Father idea wishes from you, it doesn't matter if it's benevolent. It could be something that appears to be benevolent, because again, it's discernment from the etheric side, the astral realms. There's a lot. They love all ideas, all human ideas especially. And especially more so the dark ones, because we're really good at manifesting. Very, very good on the astral side. That's why it's usually a mess in certain countries and certain states because of the manifestation from the astral side. In certain locations, because you have ley lines, they do manifest physically, which is why people share those content or be like, I don't understand, how is this even physically here? It's because of the ley lines. It's because it's just a mirror. So it has to pour from somewhere. Yeah.
Wow. Well, all I can tell you is, the balance of the universe is a very important thing.
Mm-hmm.
And we're always going to have the balance. But the negativity that's coming from the two hurricanes and the destruction of human life and property is only going to be followed by the positivity of the RV and the brilliant future that us survivors are going to experience. Now, I'm going to get this out of the way because I had a lot of questions in the last 3 or 4 days, emails. There are 10 active med beds right now in Texas. Okay? 10 med beds in Texas. They aren't open yet, but there's plans in Texas for another 800. Okay? Now, I sure as a heck hope that they're not putting them there for the illegals, but they need to be healed too. Maybe they need to be healed before they go home. Okay, we'll heal you up and then you go home. Okay, I'm just talking off the cuff here, but anyway, anybody knows the timing? No, nobody knows about the timing, Ken. I don't know. It could happen anytime. I don't give rates and I don't give dates, but I am going to give the intel. We're 8:30. We can give the intel. I will tell you, there's not much because it's pretty simple, but I'm going to read it to you anyway. Let's see. La 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 la, dead air. Okay, here we go. This is Wednesday's intel. Chance. Bank says bonds will be paying out within the next 48 hours, and they have been paying out. I found out today so they have been paying out. They expect it to be at their level on the 15th. 4B is expected to start being processed at the banks on 10/14. Today's October 10th. So that's in 4 days. They're expecting something to happen with tier 4B, even though there are no tiers, they're still calling it tiers. So, there's no tears for you, dear. Okay. Now this is today's intel, and it says, Chance Bank advises the following: bond emails going out telling when access will be available. Notifications anytime from the 8th to the 15th, depending on bond notifications of funds availability and total funds for first redemption. What is available now? Expect to go to the bank anytime by the 16th. That's 6 days. Also told to expect R&R announcements Sunday. Funds for R&R are already showing up in accounts of people who purchased currency from the bank. Things are moving. I purchased, I think, my first 2 purchases of Vietnamese dong through my bank. And so I've been keeping an eye on that in case anything happens with the R&R. Now, if you don't know what the R&R is, I'm going to tell you. R&R is Reformation and Restoration. The Federal Reserve came into existence in 1913, and ever since the Federal Reserve came into existence, there's nothing but fraud been perpetrated upon we the people. So your reformation and restoration will be all the bank loans, all the taxes, all the permits, all the property taxes that you've ever paid. If you had to pay a building permit, you get that money back. It's the entire financial system of the the Corporation of the United States is based on fraud, it's based on debt, and it's based on currency that has no value. It's an empty currency. And I had somebody told me a good analogy today. It's just like, who invented the game Monopoly? Because that's what we are. We're on the Monopoly board. There's the playing board that Brian's talking about. Okay? They're telling you, do not pass go, do not collect $200. But, wait a minute, you can go this time and you can get $200, or you can buy Boardwalk, but, then we got property taxes. And, the whole thing is based on the cabal life, okay? The cabal fraud. So the next time you play Monopoly with your family, think of how that really applies in your life, because it's all bullshit. Okay, it's absolute bullshit. I got a debt-based currency system designed to crash from the get-go. Actually, Roy, I read some statistics, and fiat currency typically has a lifespan in other countries of 50 to 60 years, and we've already exceeded that by 50 or 60 years.
It can go up to 100.
Can
but
it?
Yes, it can.
Okay.
But you have to cause what? Inflation.
Right.
And then you have to promise that there is no time or date when that has to be paid back, which would be never. So it doesn't matter. It still will pop, essentially. But none of it, and I honestly believe this from my analysis of how I view and understand what's currently going on, none of it is going to matter. None of it is going to make a difference. None of it is going to come to fruition if this high caliber QFS does not come in line. That is the only way the humans are going to break free is as long as the system comes on online, it is for the people and no one else. That also means the system is in charge. And it will always choose the people, but it will never, ever be taken over by the people.
Right. Right. Hey, Brian, would you like to answer the question? People want to know what's the origin of the quantum financial system? Somebody asked that question a while back.
Well, Ken said it best. It's not human technology, it's interstellar technology because they use it. It's a precursor. It's precursor for your Star Trek emblem that you saw on Space Force. That's a precursor also. Is it considered psychological warfare or a psyops? Maybe, right? Because you don't know what the future is going to hold for your galactic selves. Just something to think about. You may want to rewatch your Trekkie days and get to know, your terms and conditions, so to speak. So you're going to have to engage differently. It's just, instead of getting similar experience, and I'm not going to say that all your experiences on tour are going to be heavy. They'll be much lighter, but you're still going to have to deal with a little bit of garbage, depending on different cultures. So it's going to be just another fun way to play, except for you get to go outside and see your planet and everything else. And trust me when I say it's 10 times more fun than being stuck on a planet and just getting to see everywhere here and going, all right, yeah, great, what's next? So,
All right.
Hey, Chance.
Yes,
I'm
dear.
gonna run. I got to get up at 5:30. I've worked 12 hours. Jeff's still on vacation, so.
Okay, well, I'm going to give you one bit of advice before you leave.
Okay.
Pop your white popcorn in bacon grease. Try that one out, okay? You think I'm kidding? And then take one bite of it and try to walk away from the bowl.
My sister-in-law cooked it all the time in that when I was growing up. But anyway, listen, just remember, everybody, go check out Republic for the United States of America. You need to. And then President Geiger's on there, and he gives a speech, and you'll understand what's going on. I'm sorry I've got to go, but
we sure appreciate you being here.
And I'll get I'll talk to you tomorrow and getting you signed up and where to start reading that book and get you vetted. Okay?
Thank you, dear. I appreciate you.
Bye.
Nice seeing you, Dad.
God bless.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
Bye.
Oh, wow. Guys, this week, and it's not over yet, okay? Because I'm expecting some big kaboom tomorrow. And it seems like, except for the disasters, it seems like the cabal takes the weekends off. We're just going to wreak havoc. We're just going to wreak havoc 5 days a week. But if the weekend's coming up, we want to go out and play on our boats and, go to the country club and have our $20 martinis.
or they have their puppets strategize on the weekend while they do that. And then they send their troops out.
Right.
So,
right.
But that's where you're at. So you have to and people don't understand, the good guys have to do the wait and see. Because again, if you're in control of the looking glass, you have to be in the wait and see. That's why ascension isn't pretty. I'm not being negative. I'm being realistic in saying it's the continual teetering of the teeter-totter.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Nobody promised you a rose garden.
Yeah.
I get it. But, here's the thing. So many people think, oh, it's going to happen today. Well, it might happen today, but that don't mean you're going to have money in your pocket today. You're going to have to wait till you go through the process. And worldwide, there's 100 million people ahead of you. Okay. Okay. Out of a world that has 9 billion people. So it's a very private, closed club, and everybody else besides us isn't in it. We the people are going to be the elite, and the others are going to be in the ground. I saw the coolest picture the other day, and I don't know if it's real or not. I didn't bother to vet it. I'll ask General Steve the next time I talk to him. But I saw the coolest picture. Oh my God. It was a scene at GITMO, and they had a great big empty lot. It probably 3 or 4 acres, and you could see the prison cells off of the background. And that's where they've been dumping the ashes, and they're calling it GITMO Gardens. Has anybody seen that?
No, this first time.
I loved it. I just loved it. You see, what's happening to the bad guys is what they signed up for. They signed up for this in their contract. Now, they don't know it. They're not conscious of it. But when you do all these evil things, then good is going to have to come in and counterbalance it. There's always going to be that balance between good and evil. There's always going to be that. Everything's not going to be sunshine, lollipops, and rainbow. And Brian and I have talked about this a couple different times. Without the balance, it's hard. If you don't understand, there has to be evil in order for you to appreciate the good. Okay, you got to see over here. Oh, they're doing terrible things over here. Oh, yeah, but look over here. What they're doing over here. It's the complete opposite. Well, we're going to stop that. We're going to go over there and we're going to stop that. Yeah, we are. But somebody else will maintain the balance. And it will be the war between good and evil. The balance between good and evil is a constant. Okay? It's never going to end. You may live your life, you may live the eternity, sunshine, lollipop, and rainbows like you want to. But that don't mean everybody is. There's still people that are going to be victimized. That's why after you get your blessing, you get your abundance, I want you all to think about what I'm going to say now. You better be prepared to defend it.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's a lot of evil. Oh, here we go. Hurricane Milton caused flooding at Disney World Amusement Park in Orlando, Florida.
Just like you said, Chance.
Yep.
There's the proof right there.
Yep.
Anybody don't believe it, it's right on Facebook page.
Keep in mind, a priest doesn't have to just use holy water to purify you. The priest could put on a flaming torch pack with a flamethrower and be like, I got it taken care of, and then toast your ass. So that's why we have these people. If someone wants to represent the muck of the sick and the dark essence, don't worry about it. You got a benevolent being that will incinerate you. There are a lot of them out there, and they have no problems with it because they understand that it's just an idea. It's part of the game, and they'll do their blessing or whatever, and then you're just toast. And it's not anything of guilt. It's just thankfulness. You'd be surprised that a lot of people are thankful. Even good warriors or soldiers, or even on the light side, they are thankful always to the ones playing their part as their mirrored ideas or selves, because without them, we can't grow. So, yeah.
Yeah, Brian, I'm of the opinion that this isn't just a war about humans. This is a war about reptilians. It's a war about elves and fairies. It's a war about
All people.
animals. It's a war about entities that we may not even know exist. Okay? There may be life forms. It's all part of the universe that God created for us. And by us winning against the cable guys, then we are being the superheroes to the lesser entities, smaller, more defenseless entities, fairies, elves, trolls are even a real thing. Okay. And we know giants are real. Okay. We know that. Okay. Yeah. Dragons are a real thing. Okay. There is a lot of people don't know this. I did a deep dive into this because when Brian informed me 6 months ago that dragons are a real thing, I thought, well, that would be cool if they were. And I did a deep dive, and I mean, I went down. I did it. I was obsessed with it for about 2 days, and I found out the Chinese geneticist had actually created a baby dragon, and I'm gonna tell you what, it was one of the cutest damn things I'd ever seen. And yeah, you know who I'm talking about. Yeah, somebody figured out Travis's name. Yeah, they figured out his name. They figured out who it was. Yep, he's watching this. I watch his show, so I'm hoping he's watching mine. But yeah, you're right. You're right. Somebody's fact checking me. Okay, that's cool. Fact check me all you want. It's cool.
Chance, there's one thing about that. You got to remember, they're watching your show, and you're watching their show. It's being seen by a lot of people. You're being seen and heard by a lot of people. They're not.
Yeah,
they're not. That's the difference.
Because they're not on the radio.
That's the difference.
There's a lot of people in Europe that listen to internet radio that don't, it's just incredible. The reach of Hamilton radio is really deep. And here's the whole thing. I'd like to think that we have 350,000 people listening tonight. Okay. I would really like to think that. Now, if that is the case, yes, I saw that. And I did a deep dive on that, Min Chow. And that was created by some geneticists. Now, the thing is, where did they get the DNA from?
Well, that's easy because dragons have been around even in our third dimensional physicality.
Right.
So that also means because like the unconscious aptitude, things happen. So accidents happen. So you could think of like a dragon had laid its eggs in 3D, couldn't wait, right? Was in labor, or one of the eggs was a dud, so it got left. And then someone picked it up. I'm just giving you an example of a story.
Oh, sure.
Something that could happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
And again, no coincidence, right? So you have to think that way, where maybe it's meant so that way these ideas from the higher realms can force, again, it's still invasive, right? So the idea is forced into your consciousness. So do you like the idea or do you not like the idea? Would it be cool to see or have dragons as pets? Or would it be cool and see to talk with more ancient dragons that are of a higher consciousness, whether it's telepathy or physically. So they're all valid ideas. Just as with that lady made the comment, I was like, okay, so if it is AI generated, then you can assume from an optics standpoint, they're showing you because they don't want anybody going there. That's a great way to put it, take all the troops because it's dry and they can go through everything. Again, optics, right? So that's something to think about. And I'm always playing multiple stories all at once to see different angles. Something to consider and not necessarily agree right away when you're observing information. And on that note, as much as I like looking at Chance's chat, but seeing certain things posted up to 4 times, kind of like in its loop cycle, kind of gets monotonous. Or
Yeah, it does.
So if you can scroll up and make sure you don't repost, that would be nice. You know, fresh new ideas. Not that I'm trying to consume any information, because usually I'm just going zoom. And then I'm like, all right, let's see what the next Q idea is coming up. I'm like, stop. All right, maybe. Nah, I don't care anymore.
You know what's funny? You know what's funny is I'll put a link. Somebody, can you post a link to your Telegram channel so I can? Okay, so I post a link, and then 2 other people right underneath it will say, "Can we have a link to your channel so we can join your chats?" Okay, it's right above. Don't be lazy. Don't be afraid to scroll. Scroll up, scroll down. Use that mouse. It's okay. That's what it's there for. I know. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I get that. I really do. I'm to the point where I'm okay. My White Hat connection told me we've been putting out a lot of good information, but some of it is really too good. And there's a possibility I will keep my Chances chat page up. There's a possibility they might ask me to take the Chances live chat group down. If they do, I'm having trouble with it too. I'm having trouble with some of the settings. I'm having trouble, and I don't know if it's me or if Telegram. I haven't had time to call support, and but from what I understand, I'm not the only channel that's getting hacked on Telegram. Okay.
But as I said before, if I was them, and you heard me say this, but I want to say this to the audience from an objective standpoint. They know about creativity. They know about energy and point of attention. So from a white hat, you are considered a part of the team. Therefore, it shouldn't matter what information you're given, especially if it's in the name of transparency, right? If it's in the name of transparency, and again, we still can't vet anything. And again, we still don't know the full scope of the game board. So from my objective side, I would say you need to vet yourself, or at least give me some credence or a reason why, but not a broad sense as to why I need to let go of this, I need to let go of that, and I had to put my faith in your identity. That's just my personal standpoint, without being hopeful, without conforming to anyone's personality. If we're all sharing this existence on this board game and we're all attempting, or we have a greater goal, you need to show me something, because I'm here in my action sequence, just like Chance's. We're showing you something that's a little bit different. It has merit and it has more value than you telling me something, because you said it too, right? It's all about the terms and conditions. You have to show me the reason or give merit and explain. But I don't see any merit or a good explanation, because it's still so big. The scope of it is so big in a sense that, like, why does it matter here in the US? Are we really affecting the world? Are we affecting Japan? Are we affecting the Philippines? I don't know. Those are valid questions, right? We don't know how big the channel is. There's a lot of things we don't know. But we really do need something for a reason. So again, Chance, I'm not discrediting the white hat, and I hope he is listening, because I am, it's not that I'm or it's not that I don't think he's a white hat. It's that I just understand how games are played, especially when you use word, spells, or language. So I'm looking at him, so to speak, his energy. I'm sifting through different filters to get a feel of what is the identity about? What is the reason behind it? Because it's important to always analyze. And if anything, we've all been taken advantage of, as I said before. And that's why I said, including me, because it's not perfect. In order for us to know something is true, it has to be face value. So that picture of what that lady said possibly being AI is very, very correct, because it is only one point of attention. You
That's
have
right.
never received any other angles but that one. So that is questionable. And I get goosebumps because I know I'm right. And I already can preview why it's important and why they want people to stay away. It's to clean every nook and cranny. And you can't do that with a flood. You really, really can't. Because I play war games all the time in the higher realms. I'm quite clever. I hope I don't get in trouble. And then I received an anonymous call. Hey, can you stop peering in with your psychedelic, cynical BSness and at least attempt to be a damn human, Brian? I'd be like, but I'm not Brian. I don't care. I want you to be Brian. Shut up. And I'd be like, well, pay me. So yeah, I'm just, yeah.
Thank you, Brian. You made us all laugh. Doc G, final thoughts tonight, brother.
Well, my final thoughts are never judge a book by its cover. Everybody looks at me and they say, well, I can't believe you're writing songs. I can't believe you're doing this. Never think that nobody can do anything. I had a history of being in choirs when I was younger. I was with bands when I was younger. So I had a lot of musical experience. I just never was able to capitalize on that raising a family. So now that's my thoughts to everybody is just because you have something in the background you've done before, don't push it off and think you can't do it again. You may be able to do it again. And I'm proof of that. Yeah. So I'm proof of that.
Life begins at 60.
63.
Okay. Brian, final thoughts tonight.
Go ahead. You see it, Brian?
Yeah, I've been divorced for like 8 years plus. So again,
you single lady, go for it,
But remember, it's very difficult because with my experiences and knowledge, compatibility is very important. And to find that or to experience that is, there has to be like the wiggle room. So, kind of like that line which goes up and down of compatibility. That's why everyone can resonate to each other to a degree, because there is that fluctuation of like all varying compatibility. But that being said, my final thoughts is, like, once again, practice envisioning the greater version of you. That is your greatest asset. And my guides would agree with me on this. So start playing with your imagination and start seeing yourself in a different light or a higher caliber, but at the same time, transparent, authentic. But you could be love and peace, but then once your love and peace is in jeopardy, you turn on the warrior and the no nonsense, and you take action. So let's see if there are any that can embody that idea. That's it.
Thank you, Brian. My final thoughts tonight is, Doc G, you have an amazing voice.
Thank you.
I'm really impressed, and I'm going to figure out a way to capitalize on you. But anyway, yeah, let's get this thing over with so we can start doing some things. Let's get this RV over with, and let's get this Republic going. So, guys, step up to the Republic if you can. I'm going to. I want to thank always Debbie for coming in tonight, and it's good to have her back, even if it is on a limited basis. And I want to thank Fascinating Brian for always reminding me not to be full of myself, because he's going to open another door that sees another aspect of me. And I know you was talking about me a little bit tonight. So I get it. Okay. I got it. And you know what I'm talking about from what happened in our conversation the other day. So
it's still love.
Yeah, I get it. I feel the love. I feel the love.
Yeah. You'll feel the red mark later.
But if you guys want the RV protocol papers, the time to order them is now, because we're on a any minute basis. 319-561-0064, Cash App or Zelle. $50 if you're overseas. You want the RV protocol papers, send me an email to chancemusic@yahoo.com, and I will send you a wise request for funds. And let's see. We're going to be back here next Thursday night. I would like to think we're going to be all music next Thursday night, but I'm not saying that. So don't go say, Chance said. Okay. And I would like for you guys to do something for somebody else beside yourself. And when you look in the mirror tonight, tell yourself that you love yourself. It's okay to love yourself, okay? Even if you feel nobody else loves you, reflect on yourself. It's okay. It's not a crime. And it's okay to pray for yourself too. So don't think you're selfish by praying for yourself, okay? I don't even know what to tell you guys, except I will be on the air Sunday nights and Tuesday nights, 5 o'clock p.m. Central Time, on Chance's Chat, Chance's Live Chat 2. It is a private group. If you want an invitation to join, then you have to send me an email to chancemusic@yahoo.com. I sincerely appreciate all your love donations to help me and my son get by through these hard times. I love you all. Good night, guys.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Y'all come back now, here.